Hello, everyone. So today I'm back here with Michael, my friend. Welcome back to the channel, Michael. And today we are going to talk about the necessity of chaos for order to exist, and the necessity for order to exist in order for chaos to exist. The yin yang quality of life itself, the multiverse, or even energetically when it comes to magic or things like that. So, Michael, what is the main point that you would like to make about chaos in relation to order? What is the necessity of chaos in relation to order, whether it comes to magic, whether it comes to spirituality, whether it comes to
In
society?
my opinion, I can't give an exact full example because order and chaos can exist in a supplemental different series. But in my opinion, I can give an example. Order exists in this world is you have to have everything controlled. Everything has to have its one detail point in each. Does it perceive anything? It does as it essentially pleases. You stack 5 bricks up into a figure. That's order. In chaos, those bricks could be in the complete scattered format, and yet a person views that as chaos because it's perceived as you are splitting your mindset to a point that you don't care about what a person believes. You don't care about what you believe. You shoot yourself to that point, and wherever you hit in this world, you hit. While order is more of a calculated thing. I'm thinking I'm going to hit this point, but I got to hit it just right. I got to hit this detail, this detail, this detail. Chaos is more of, ooh, there's no calculations. There's no figuring out which point I got to hit. There's none of that. It's just, boop, I'm there. I'm spreading forth. There you go. Order and chaos are basically the yin and yang value points of this deal. Now, while yin yang may be more outspoken, as in grass a root shooting forth, and while the yin may be more towards the balance, the yin will have more control around the chaos itself, as in it cannot fully control chaos, but it can be more of a suggestion
So,
phase.
so here's the thing that made what I thought of when you said that is sometimes chaos by accident may be orderly, and sometimes order would be chaos by accident because
Loki.
they each are in each other. So by accident, sometimes they manifest the other because of that yin yang quality.
The Loki, like we have spoken before, towards Odinism. Loki hits events without bothering with the I gotta calculate this, I gotta think of this. Here's Loki. I'm shooting forth, I'm hitting that point. Whether or not people agree with it, I'm still hitting that point. And that is the difference between order and chaos. Order, pardon me, will think before it acts. Will say, well, I want to hit that point, but I got to think of this, and this. And then I got to kind of think towards something else besides that, and et cetera down the line. Here's chaos. Boom.
So when we're talking about Loki, see, Loki is very much like that. He will do something because it's mischievous at the time, or he just feels like doing it. So like he won't plan out the whole thing. But here's the weird thing: in Norse mythology and in the Norse stories, oftentimes he's the one that, in writing what he did wrong, he ends up actually giving more to the gods. Like Thor got his hammer because of Loki. Odin got his spear,
Order.
and Freyr got his boat. And that's very interesting because through that exchange of order and chaos, Loki actually, in trying to correct the things that he feels bad about later or is forced to correct, he ends up strengthening order. But the original thing that he did was chaotic.
Well, I can tell you this one. Chaos is neither good nor bad. Chaos is simply chaos. So while you might think Loki is being good, he got Thor's hammer back to him. He got this guy's thing hand to it, Freya's thing to it him. He is neither good nor bad in that way. That's the why many people refer to myself as the Lord of Chaos, and I don't ever say myself as a lord. Like I literally was one of my friends was like, "Oh, the Lord of Chaos is approaching," because I'm neither good nor bad in that way of sense. You know what I mean?
Well, but see, that's the thing, because we have this idea of duality and good and evil because of Christianity and Abrahamic faiths. But in Norse mythology, Loki isn't necessarily evil. He's just another aspect. So even in Norse mythology, we don't have that. We don't have the dichotomy we have in Christianity, where you have God and Satan. So in a way, Loki isn't like Satan, but he's not really like anything. He is a part. He's a part of the whole that allows things to happen, events to happen, and really allow the individual to reach beyond time itself through understanding these things, because the only way time passes in places like Asgard is for events to happen, and the way that events happen is because Loki does these certain acts and then reconciles these acts. So it
But
is like he's not evil. He's pure. He's the chaos responding to its own actions that it did previously, in a way.
but even with that, when it comes to chaos, chaos is neither good nor bad. That's why chaos separates it from the dichotomy of Zayatans versus, say, Satan.
Yeah.
There, Loki basically, in my eyes, does his own thing. He
Yeah.
doesn't. He would be, in my eyes,
You might want
considered.
to move. You might want to move the camera back a little bit. There we
Right
go.
there.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, he would be considered, in my eyes, a maverick. A maverick is somebody that goes by his own rules. Like Loki will get Thor's hammer back, but at the same time, if you think back in history, he screws over Thor in some way.
Yeah.
It's small, but he's still getting screwed over in some way. In my eyes, when we come to Loki itself, Loki thinks things in a not just in a one-dimensional phase where go evil versus good, but in a multi-dimensional phase. Ergo, he thinks back, okay, this guy needs his hammer because otherwise it's gonna fuck me over in the end. But at the same time, this guy has fucked me over in the end in the past. So I'm gonna think of a way to getting his hammer back to him while at the same time I'm gonna fuck him over, but not to the extent that it fucks me over in the end, but just enough so he understands that I am still able to get his ass.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion how Loki thinks. Loki doesn't think in of a one dimensional where I'm gonna get him back. He thinks in a multi-dimensional. He
Yeah.
needs his hammer, but at the same time, I need to put him in his place. Now, how I'm going to do that, I got to think in a way
But
that is not of a
I
order phase.
I think that we're a lot of the time we try to attribute like human characteristics to Loki. I don't think. See, he does put the gods in their place, right? But at the same time, he doesn't. That his ultimate aims are completely mysterious, because we see in Ragnarok Loki eventually will die, but some gods will survive. Loki will die, Thor will die, Odin will die. And originally his intent was just to be him, just to be Loki. But then as he starts to get the hatred of the other gods, it becomes more and more chaotic. He becomes more and more himself in a way. But like at the end at Ragnarok, Heimdall, which can see much further than Loki, sees that despite Loki's desire and his success of destroying the gods, he is not successful in continuing himself. There is no, once the next cycle happens, another Loki will spring up, but a child of Loki does not survive. He does not survive. So I think that there's always this inherent possibility with the chaos that Loki brings, to the extent that it's not even just Loki. It's just the probability that something like Loki will come forward, which will come forward in the next cycle.
That even if Loki does not spring forth a child, then due to Loki's sheer chaos, then a chaos known as Loki will exist. It means basically meaning that, like, say I decide to, what do the kids call it these days? Spring forth my loins.
Yeah.
Or something among that. I'm sorry, I'm old school in that fashion.
Yeah.
Then even if I don't spawn forth something pops up that is literally a mirror image of myself, but he's not related to me in any fashion whatsoever, yet looking at him, he is but a mirror image of myself.
And see, that Loki potential is in everything. That's the thing. There's always this inherent potential for either order or chaos in everything. No one being, no one person is completely one thing or another. Within Loki, there's a possibility for order. That's how he's able to bring order after the chaos. But there's also the possibility for Loki to come again, even when he dies. So there's really this seed of chaos, even in order, and the seed of order and chaos in a way. You see what I'm saying?
I think that if you think back to it, this could be off topic, but Loki is actually more of the one of the most powerful gods of within the Norse mythology, because while Odinism can bring balance to the world, if you think back to it, Loki is able to basically insert himself into anything that he decides to be. Ergo, I'm not related to this guy. I have tried to bring forth many Lokis, yet this guy that is not related to me by blood is able to be a Loki. Thus, in my eyes, Loki would be more the most powerful Norse gods, and not in the sense of the sheer power, but in the ability that he's able to bring forth his own desires into this world. A lot of people think that order can beat chaos, but in reality, chaos consumes all, because chaos does not go on its own terms. Chaos is just chaos. That is why at some point order will crumble and chaos will presume.
Well, that's another part of this. That's another part of the cycle, because you have this cycle of orderliness, and then you have a cycle of chaos, and you have a cycle of orderliness. It's a circle. There's no like beginning and end, like a completely straightforward timeline. It's cycles. It's the rings.
There's a continuous battle between the two, and in my opinion, chaos will presume, because order can build up a structure 5,000 feet high, or however high. I remember this. Not this poem, but this limerick. A building be built 5,000 to 6,000 feet high. A being of chaos approaches. One touch, all crumbles.
But then also from the ashes and from the bricks that remains, order will come back. So we have this cycle.
Order builds up again, yet chaos is ready with his axe.
Of course. So we have this cycle. Continuing. There's no victory in either chaos or order. It's this constant back and forth. And we see that definitely in Norse mythology. We have this, even Loki undoes his own chaos after he's forced to. So he actually attributes to order.
He only does that because he sees war past. And I remember that. If he even spoke of it, he had refused to basically not give Thor his hammer, but acquire Thor's hammer, it would have fucked over Loki at some point. he needed Thor to have his hammer so that Loki wouldn't get fucked over in the end. Loki doesn't think on a one-dimensional plane like Thor. No offense, but Thor thinks on a one-dimensional plane. Odin is Odin thinks on of a more multi-dimensional plane, and Loki thinks on that same plane. So when Loki sees that Thor needs his hammer, he can fuck Thor over, but at the same time he's fucking himself over. But
Yeah.
if he gives Thor his hammer, while he might see himself getting fucked over, it's less of a chance than if he refuses to acquire his hammer.
And I think we'll go ahead and end it on this note. We'll keep on talking afterwards. But is there any last statement that you wish to say about Order and Chaos in general before we close the video?
In my opinion, chaos will prevail over order. You can claim all you want to, but at the end of the day, whatever you build will crumble. You can continue to build, but chaos will cause it to crumble.
Okay,
That is a
I think we'll go ahead and end it there. Thank you very much, Michael, for having this conversation with me and being on the channel again. We'll have some more videos coming out pretty soon.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say this, however, because I do have people seem to be going through the videos after I made mention of you in some of my videos, some of the videos, ergo the interview with the Satanist. There are people that are now considering watching your videos because they're shocked that I'm getting a interview. So, in my eyes, is this: chaos will prevail. Order can build up a building. Chaos will walk through and bring down that building. It's a continuous battle, but in my end, chaos will prevail. No matter how many times you build up that building, chaos will bring it down.
Okay, man. We'll go ahead and end it on that note. Thank you very much. Feel free to shoot down any comments in the comment section below. We'll definitely take a look at them, and hope to see all of you on my channel in the future.